In tonight's headlines, Chief Executive John Lee replaces Tourism Chief and Transport Secretary, the first cabinet reshuffle at midpoint of his 5-year term. Following the martial law chaos, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol faces impeachment vote as soon as Saturday, while his own party vows unity on keeping him in power. And Bitcoin tops $100,000 for the first time as Trump fuels crypto mania.
Chief Executive John Lee reshuffled his administration today at the midpoint of his 5-year tenure with the appointments of new Transport Minister and Tourism Chief by the central government. Mabel Chan, former Permanent Secretary for Transport and Logistics, and Rosanna Law, Director of Housing, will take over Lam Sai-hong and Kevin Yeung's roles respectively. Lee thanked them for their contributions over the years, while expressed confidence in their successors.
I have made my decision through a period of observation and judge what I want to do in the years to come and assess what will make my governance even more effective and fulfilling.
Lee noted that the administration has lost considerable time due to the pandemic and the 2019 social unrest. He aims to make up for this lost time and achieve goals that will benefit residents and create maximum economic and social benefits. The city leader highlighted that both new secretaries have accumulated 35 years of experience in government service, noting their strong leadership and communication skills.
I appreciate the leadership, the articulation skill, and also the proactiveness of Ms. Chan and Ms. Law, because this is exactly what I need in the years to come to ensure that we will reap the best results and also to ensure good governance.
When asked if there would be further changes in the administration, Lee emphasized that different policy bureaus face different challenges, but the current accountability team aligns with his governance philosophy. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Meeting the press, the newly appointed Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism, Rosanna Law, shared her commitment to meet the expectations of both the central government and the chief executive, brushing aside concerns over her relative inexperience in tourism and sports.
And so my priority would be to learn the latest development of my bureau's work and then to meet old friends, make new friends, have candid, useful, constructive discussions with all stakeholders with a view of bringing culture, sports and tourism to new heights.
She highlighted the importance of the smooth launch of the Kai-Tak Sports Park and the upcoming National Games next year, adding that she will collaborate with various sectors to make the most of Beijing's favorable policies to the city. Joining the government in 1989, the incoming tourism minister has served as the commissioner for transport from 2020 to 2023, then promoted to permanent secretary for housing and director of housing. The 56-year-old is known for her recent efforts to crack down on the misuse of public housing by the wealthy in the city. As Permanent Secretary for Transport and Logistics since 2022, Mabel Chan will be taking over the job from her former boss, Lam Sai-hong, whom she said she has been working closely with in building a solid groundwork that is crucial for the tasks ahead.
I'm confident that I will bring impetus to the Bureau in taking forward the various policy initiatives as set out in the Chief Executive's 2024 Policy Address. In particular, our focus will be on to further develop Hong Kong as an international shipping center and an international aviation hub.
Also on top of her list are transport and railway infrastructure. She added that she will make sure the upcoming projects are implemented on time and within budget. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Dismissed Culture, Sports and Tourism Chief Kevin Yeun posted on social media today, stating, "The sky is vast and I am stepping into another stage of life." In his official departure statement, Yeun said he dedicated himself during the 2.5 years in service and thanked all his colleagues for fighting side by side with him, believing his successor will continue to committing to the duties with her team. During his tenure, Yeun faced several controversies, including the mirror concert accident, the messy no-show incident, and the national anthem blunder at international sports events. In October, Chief Executive John Lee singled out Yeun in the policy address for delaying the blueprint for arts and culture and creative industries development. Yeun later denied any pressure from Lee. Another sacked minister, Lam Sai-hong, has served the government for over 40 years. "During this period, I served Hong Kong in various positions, and this has been the greatest honor of my life," the Secretary for Transport and Logistics said in his departure statement. His tenure faced challenges, including severe rainstorms affecting roads in Sheko and Shaokei-wan, Typhoon Koinu disrupting MTR services, and a major airport system failure back in June. Despite these issues, Lam implemented key transport policies, such as activating the 3-runway system and reviewing the fare adjustment mechanism. He was previously praised by the city chief for his achievements in alleviating traffic congestion with the 3-tunnel diversion plan, but that did not stop him from being fired. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
The Kai-Tak Arena, located within the sports park, is set to open its doors for the first time this Saturday, featuring 2 basketball games scheduled at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. respectively. Open to around 2,000 ticket holders, authorities said they have arranged for 6 to 8 security checkpoints to enhance crowd management during the drills. This comes amidst a change in leadership in the city's Sports and Tourism Bureau. Commissioner for Sports George Choi assured that his team remains steadfast in their roles, committing to overseeing the progress of the park. Choi announced another round of stress tests for the arena and the youth sports ground on Sunday, involving 12,000 civil servants, residents, and youth uniformed group members. The arena will also be hosting a concert with over 5,500 attendees on December 20th, before officially running trials at its main stadium next month.
More than 200 people stranded on the Hong Kong observation wheel at Central Harbourfront this afternoon safely returned to the ground, with no injuries reported. Authorities received reports around 5 p.m. stating that the wheel had malfunctioned and stopped moving. Firefighters and medical staff were deployed to the scene, but no ladder rescue was ultimately required. The cause of the malfunction is still under investigation.
Following the ill-conceived declaration of martial law, crowds were gathering outside the South Korean parliament today, calling on President Yoon Suk-yeol to step down. While Yoon hasn't made any public appearances since he lifted the martial law yesterday, the political earthquake continues shaking the country. In a surprising twist, members of the ruling People Power Party that initially voted against Yoon to revoke the martial law, even threatened to oust him from the party, pledged unity to combat the opposition's motion to impeach him just 1 day later. The impeachment process now hangs in the balance, as a 2/3 majority in the 300-seat National Assembly is required for passage, and the opposition holds only 192 seats. If the vote fails this Saturday, the opposition has vowed to keep submitting new motions until they succeed. The main opposition Democratic Party said they're also formalizing plans to charge Yoon with treason. Meanwhile, South Korean police have begun investigating Yoon for alleged insurrection over his declaration of martial law. In a bid to secure his political future, Yoon accepted the resignation of Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun, who proposed a martial law declaration to Yoon on Tuesday. Kim apologized for causing concerns among citizens. He ordered troops to infiltrate the National Assembly and block lawmakers from entering the compound during martial law, according to Vice Defense Minister Kim Sung-ho. He also defended Yoon, saying the president was unaware of Kim's military mobilization until after the declaration. Kwon Tin-yak, Cable News.
France has been plunged into political crisis after the far-right and left-wing lawmakers joined together Wednesday in a historic no-confidence vote prompted by budget disputes that forces Prime Minister Michel Barnier and his cabinet to resign, a first since 1962. He warned before the vote that France would be plunged into the unknown. Barnier, a conservative appointed in September, will become the shortest-serving prime minister in France's modern republic. The National Assembly approved the motion by 331 votes. A minimum of 288 were needed. The toppling of the government leaves the president, Emmanuel Macron, facing his worst political crisis. He now must appoint a new prime minister, but the fragmented parliament remains unchanged. No new legislative elections can be held until at least July, creating a potential stalemate for policymakers. Macron himself has ruled out resigning, calling such a scenario political fiction, but part of the left and far-right called for his exit. There is also uncertainty over how a 2025 budget can be decided, as France faces a growing public deficit. If Parliament does not pass a budget by 20th December, the government can propose emergency legislation that would roll over spending limits and tax provisions from 2024, pending the arrival of a new government and a new 2025 budget bill. Anna Chan, Cable News.
13 workers have been reported missing following a sudden ground collapse at a railway construction site in Shenzhen last night. The accident happened around 11 p.m. yesterday in the city's Bao'an district, where a section of the under-construction Shenzhen-Jiangmen Railway caved in, engulfing workers on site in a deep hole. An all-out rescue has been launched, with provincial and city leaders rushing to the site, according to local authorities. Residents in the vicinity have been evacuated to safety, and temporary traffic control measures are in place around the area. Meanwhile, an investigation into the accident is underway.
The price of a single Bitcoin rose to 6 figures for the first time, an extraordinary level for a 16-year-old cryptocurrency. Bitcoin stormed above $100,000 today, signaling a remarkable milestone for an experimental financial asset that had once been mocked as a sideshow and a fad. The cryptocurrency has more than doubled in value this year and is up about 45% in the 4 weeks. Bitcoin's rise was fueled by U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, whose administration was expected to create a friendly regulatory environment for cryptocurrencies. Trump, who promised to make the United States the crypto capital of the planet, said Wednesday he would nominate Paul Atkins to run the Securities and Exchange Commission. Atkins, a former SEC commissioner, is known as a strong backer of cryptocurrencies and could help shape key regulations for an industry Trump has avidly courted.